Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Love is in the air at Hy-Vee, ladies and gentlemen. And by love, I mean Delmer's new cologne. Welcome to the show. It's Tuesday, the 12th of February, or February, or February. Or, if you're a home brewer, February. This is Tony Tone, and I bought something for y'all. Because you, the faithful viewers, are my funny Valentine. But I also don't have a lot of money to spend on you. But I did have $1.29. And that's how much I think this heart costs. But because I do like Ryan Broderson a little bit, I thought, well, I could maybe spend more on Ryan. And then I was like, you know, that Cody guy, he bought cookies for the show this morning. Cody could get a little bit of bigger heart. And then I figured Betsy needs to get something for the love of her life, Jeff the goat. So we have even a bigger size Russell Stovers. And I can't forget Chad the man, who could eat this whole thing and then get on a treadmill and burn it because he fit. And then I figured it would be rude to not take something home for my kids. This is like one of those dolls that you keep pulling out of. What's that called? The Russian nesting doll. Nesting doll. Or just a nesting doll. It doesn't have to be a Russian one, Tony. The Russians are watching. And then I figured, because I love myself more than anybody else, look at the size of this thing. I love myself. I want you. Anyways, I don't want to sing that song because we'll get sued for royalties. But look at the size of that. This is huge, humongous. For you folks at home, normally $74.92, $29.99. You could buy this for your love. I hope that it has the map so that you can avoid the one strawberry. Why do they do that still? Nobody likes, there's like 2 different kinds of these chocolates that you get it and you're like, oh, it's the one with the strawberries and the poison. All the other ones are good, but if I open this right now, I would try and pick one that I would like, and I would fail, but that's okay. So here we go. Valentine's Day coming up. I've got hearts all over the set. School is delayed this morning, and we hope that it just stays to a delay. We did get, I don't know if you're familiar with a Slurpee, but growing up, where I grew up in Oak Park, Illinois, my friends and I would go to 7-Eleven, and we would get Slurpees and Slim Jams. Some Slurpees and Slim Jams. And that's what we got last night, weather-wise. We got Slurpees because I shoveled this morning, and it was like just slop. I don't even know what it was. It was heavy. I figured if I did it while it was 33 degrees, and look, it's already gotten colder since this morning. It was 33 when I was shoveling. I just didn't want my sidewalk or my steps to turn into an ice skating rink because I'm the kind of guy that thinks about people that are delivering mail, and I don't want them to hate me. I already feel like the one mail guy doesn't like us because he's afraid that our fat puggle is going to, I don't know, lick him too much. But there's been a couple days where the fat puggle Archie's outside. The mailman's like, mm-mm. And I'm like, he's a puggle. You know what a puggle looks like? They got an underbite and they're harmless. You know what that puggle wants to do? All Archie wants to do is eat. That's it. That's all Ryan, pull up a picture of a puggle if you could for the folks at home. And then we'll get to our first guest, who are anxiously awaiting to see which heart I'm going to present them with. So think about that. If you're expecting any type of deliveries, what do your steps and your sidewalk at your house look like? There's a puggle right there. All they care about is food and barking randomly at 11:30 at night when you let him out. Because, I don't know, he's a narc. My dog is a narc. All right, our first guests are here. And at this moment, we're doing the show live. It's 8:37. We're sitting here with our fingers and our toes crossed because we want the Special Olympics basketball game to happen at Muscatine High School. Jason Miller, Mark Heideball are here. Mark's the head coach. Jason's the boss for Special Olympics. Mark, come on with this weather. Guys,
oh, man,
what are we doing? So
it's killing me.
We're sort of at the mercy of, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's a 2-hour delay for the schools. We hope that that stays into effect. I will say that the city of Muscatine plow trucks have done an excellent job. The main roads are in great shape. I came down 8th to ice it to the store, had no issues. Side streets getting plowed. So we're okay with the 2-hour delay. We just don't want them to cancel, right?
That's correct, yeah. If they cancel, then we're probably looking at not having the event tonight. We will reschedule. We're looking at February 21st, so next
February
Thursday.
21st.
As of now,
Sure.
we're hoping to have it tonight.
Good. Okay, so that's the plan tonight, 6 o'clock at Muscatine High School. Coach, Mark, listen, how many practices have you had to move around because of the weather? I feel so bad for your athletes.
I can't even count. Practices haven't been terrible.
Good.
No.
Good.
It's our tournaments
Yeah.
that we've had a problem with the weather.
Yeah.
But has it been tough with the? I mean, the weather is what it is. We've had winters where you've dealt with this more times than others. But for your athletes, I know that they love being together. They love practicing. They love going to the tournaments. I mean, it's got to be tough to keep that momentum, right? Especially with a big game tonight. This is a big stage, playing at the high school. How do you think that they're feeling heading into this?
If we look back to our first practice this year, now remember, my team won their division in state last year.
Correct.
So our first practice, I thought they'd all be amped up, want to repeat and all of this. First question out of their mouth was, when is the firefighters game?
Oh my gosh,
That
that's
was
so
literally
great.
the first thing before we even took roll, they wanted to know when the game was. They looked forward to this as much, if not more, than the state tournament.
I feel the same. I'm giddy when I just tell Jason, I'm like, don't even ask me anymore. Tell me when it is, but you don't have to ask me to referee it. I'm so happy to do it. So I want it to happen tonight. I want to be at Muscatine High School. I want people to come out and support our athletes because they're so worthy of it. And it's good to have Mark here because I want to just dig a little bit into how many years have you been coaching? So answer that first, and then what brought you to Special Olympics?
Pushing 17 years
Oh my
now.
gosh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Uh,
so what was it 17 years ago that you thought, I want to get
Our
involved?
store director at the time, told me to go help on the board. They just needed someone from the store to help on the board of advisors for Special Olympics.
Sure.
My brother at the time was huge into Special Olympics. He did that right after he got out of Iowa.
Gotcha.
He actually works with an assisted housing development up near Marion, in charge of their complex. So I thought, I'll give it a try, and next thing you know, we need some help with the basketball team, and 17 years later, I wouldn't change it for the world.
So 17 years with Special Olympics Muscatine basketball specifically. Are there athletes, Mark, that were with you, that have been with you the whole time at this point? As you look at your roster, I know things change, and 17 years is a long time. But I'm assuming you've known Dick Vetter all 17 years,
yes.
who will make the occasional appearance still. But wow, that is an incredible legacy. 17 years.
We have a few that have been around over a decade.
Wow, it's so great. So you have some vets on the team, some experience. When you bring someone new into the fold, my opinion, being around the team a little bit, it seems like they're very welcoming. So when it is someone's first or even second year playing, they want to bring them into the fold because they want to have success. They want to represent Muscatine well, go to these tournaments and perform well. Because I think the thing that sometimes people forget is how competitive Special Olympics is, right? As much as, and I don't know why that exists. We talk about going to national and state level tournaments. It's a big deal. I was so excited. I saw Travis last Friday at the cake auction. I went over and talked to him, and I challenged him to a little lap in the pool, jokingly, of course, because he would smoke me. But their level of competitiveness, it's really high, and that's what I think for people that come to the game as a spectator for the first time. They are so surprised to see how intense, for lack of a better word, they're really amped up. If they're talking about it at the first practice, this is something that they not only want to perform well, but they want to win, right?
Yeah, it's people I think that don't work with special needs. I think they tend to, just by human nature, put them in a separate category.
Sure.
And there's nothing different.
Right.
The desire to succeed, the desire to work hard is exactly the same as people who are not special needs. And that's why I really encourage everybody, come out to this event, watch the game, support the firefighters and the police department. We can't forget them. The entire public safety building.
Absolutely.
There. But then talk to the Special Olympians. They are great athletes. We got some fantastic players and some just great people.
And Jason, for you as the boss, you have to feel so good having someone like Mark there, because you know he's going to be there. 17 years he's invested. He knows what he's doing. Makes your job a little bit easier because you can entrust that this wonderful team. And I'm so happy to see all these pictures from last year. And I know it was last year because I was 100 pounds heavier. And I keep seeing side pictures of myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, who is that? It's me. But just talk about having Mark as an ally.
Sure.
For Special Olympics Muscatine.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
No, I tell you, the commitment level, when I started 10 years ago, Mark was here, Tim was here. We had a number of coaches that were set in place. Sure. And you always worry that, you're the new guy. What are these guys going to do?
Right.
And you can definitely tell where their heart is. And so they've been with me all 10 years. And it's been an amazing ride. I mean, these guys are they're unbelievable with our athletes. They do such a good job, and it just shows that the stability is what you need to have in the lives of people that have special needs. And so if I'm rotating coaches all the time, it makes it hard for our athletes, not only just that trust factor, just overall in general, just feel safe and comfortable and all those things.
That's just it. And we're all of us by nature are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we need things to be consistent and whether that's going to work or school or whatever, and that is only amplified. And it's not the case for all Special Olympic athletes, but certainly some that need to see Mark and they need to see you, and then they need to see their teammates and they know that they're okay.
Sure.
And if that doesn't happen, that can really throw off a routine, and it's a big deal. So to have 10 years, which I didn't realize, that's incredible. 17 years. And the other coaches that have been with, I mean, it's just such a great story. And that's where you see these athletes have success, because you both know what you're doing and you can prepare them to go. And it's all about representing Muscatine. That's the other part of this that I hope folks realize. Certainly, this is the home game tonight, if you'll have it. Muscatine High School, 6 o'clock, pack the place. And yes, the firefighters, they just put out a they've had a lot of fires in the winter, which just seemed like a terrible time to try and battle a blaze. Yeah. And the police have been very busy. So for them to do this still, really excited to have them. But when our athletes go to, go out of town, go to state, and the national, they're representing and all the other coaches. So that's a lot of responsibility. That's something there's pressure associated with that as well. So for you, how do you level of excitement? I mean, you don't want them to you don't want the athletes to not have them understand that it's a game. It goes by quick. I can't believe how quick it goes. Everybody, you can just feel it, right? The excitement is there.
As far as excitement, there's a goal to solve that called wind sprints.
Oh no!
You run laps before practice. No, but seriously.
Or champs.
Champs. Yeah, everybody knows what champs are.
Oh my gosh.
But it's a matter of, you hit on it earlier. It's simply routine. When Jason and I run our practices, we try and do it same thing every time.
Sure.
To get that consistency, that level of expectation. So when big games, either district, state, or the biggest game of all, what's going on tonight,
right.
It's just like another practice. It's nothing new for them.
You have some athletes on this basketball team. We were looking at some pictures. Eric, Biggie, is taller than I'm 6'4.5". Eric is 6'9". 6'8",
6'7", 6'8",
6'7".
Somewhere around there.
He cannot be stopped. I love watching him dominate the firefighters and police. I mean, there's nobody that tall, right? So you can only hope to contain him.
He just grabs the ball and just holds it up.
Yep. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's Biggie in the background.
Yep.
Nick is a gazelle on the court who's sitting next to Dickie. Just right. I mean, it's just that's Nick, right? Am I
getting that
wrong?
Nick
Mills,
okay, good. Nick Mills, right?
Nick Mills,
okay.
yes.
Jeez, I'm freaking out. I'm like, I know these guys' names, these gals. Taylor's in that picture as well. Shannon, another one of the great coaches. And then Jared's in the background. I love, if this is the 5th or 6th year that I've done this game, I don't know, but I love when I see the athletes at this event. They're so excited. I'm happy to play a small role, but I'm even more excited when I see them at the Y or out and about in public. Yeah. It brings me so much joy having conversations with them. I came into the Y last week, and powerlifting had just got done, and I hadn't seen Brad in a while, and a couple other athletes, and it's so great to see them and know that they're working hard, like they're putting in the time at the Y. And I think, for a lot of people, if you go to the Y and you get on an elliptical or treadmill, you might not notice that it's going on, but you guys are there constantly for all the various sports. I mean, there's so much work that goes into it, and this is where it pays off, right? The big game tonight. So we are all systems go. until, God forbid, something happens. We'll let you know if it does. Otherwise, 6 o'clock. The game is live streamed tonight. Do you know about this, Coach?
Yes.
Brian Musell's doing commentary. This is such a big thing.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pressure to not trip or call a bad foul, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so this is going to be great. It's at the high school, which again, a bigger venue, right? So all we want to do is pack the gym. And when I said that it's a quick game, it is relatively a quick game. Even with the halftime, we're less than 2 hours.
Yeah, it goes
Easily,
by pretty fast.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's typically like an hour and 30 to an hour and 40 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. But the level of competitiveness that the athletes will have, it'll be so great. Bake sale, T-shirts, raffle items. Admission is free. Strongly encourage people coming out, participate when you can, because we know the bake sale will sell out. And then we'll do some giveaways, raffle some stuff off at halftime. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, and from what I understand, we'll have some pretty good raffle prizes.
Good.
This evening, and between the T-shirt sales and everything, we'll raise a good amount of money for this.
Yeah,
so it'll
absolutely.
be great. And more importantly, our athletes haven't done anything this year.
Yeah.
No competition. They had their
Right.
I shouldn't say anything. We had
No, but their
practices and
tournament
everything, but
kinda got
their
scrapped.
tournament was
Yeah.
canceled. And what differentiates this competition versus like a district tournament? A district tournament is a whole lot of teams.
Sure.
Which means a whole lot of volunteers. And so and you have a facility, you aren't able to reschedule.
Right.
But for us, luckily, we can reschedule.
Absolutely.
So if anything, like I said, worst case scenario, we'll reschedule this. So we will have it.
All right, but we want it to happen tonight,
We do.
Tuesday, February 12th, 6 o'clock at Muscatine High School. I love people chiming in on Facebook. I can see some comments on there. Becky Reese saying, good morning, Jason. Trish saying, awesome. Maybe I said Becky's last name wrong.
Becky Reese, yeah. That's right.
So, if y'all are watching, please come to the high school tonight. It'll be, I don't know what else you're going to do on a Tuesday night in February, right? Valentine's Day is 2 days away. You don't have to worry about that yet. Maybe you're proactive like I am. You already ordered flowers. Jason, you already ordered flowers. Jason's sitting here thinking,
just
I gotta
like you
figure
already
out.
picked out one of these for your wife.
That's
which
right.
You didn't
That's
mention.
right. I did not. I'm gonna. Yeah.
So
you know,
which one is it, Tony?
I don't know. Let's put me on the spot more, Jay. I like when you do that.
Every
on the
time I come
show.
here, I always have to put you on the
Just
spot for something.
consistently doing that. All right. So after tonight's game, which again we want to have happen, we don't want the weather to screw it up. What's next for the basketball team? Is this? I mean, I don't want to say this is it. We're in February. Will there still be games versus other Special Olympic teams, or?
Unfortunately for my team, no. This is their swan song tonight.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Thanks to Mother Nature, the weather snowed out our district tournament.
Right.
So unfortunately, the state had the impossible task of just choosing some teams to go
Sure.
to state. And they chose, a team that had not been in our division
Correct.
before. So, give everyone a chance to experience it.
Yep. All right, but
My guys are not happy, but everybody understands.
so all they want to do is play this game.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so but then because a lot of the Special Olympic Muscatine athletes will do multi-sports, so at the same time, swimming is amping up,
Yeah.
getting ready for another
We're in
tournament.
swimming next Saturday. Not
Okay.
this Saturday, but next Saturday we'll have our district swim meet in Clinton.
Okay.
Well, cross our fingers to everything. Every time I say something's going to happen, it doesn't happen.
So that's the 23rd.
That's
then,
the
right?
23rd.
Okay.
Our state basketball and powerlifting tournament is March 15th and 16th.
Oh,
So
15th.
it's a week later.
Oh,
this
so
year.
it's a week later. Okay, good.
Yeah. And then we roll into our spring sports.
Just like that.
After spring break, we'll have soccer,
Mm-hmm.
track and field, and bocce.
Wow, just one thing after another,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Megan Francis saying Little Miss Muscatine Queens are excited to help. See you there. Yes, please. It's so
Awesome.
great to have
Yeah.
the community involved
The
with
Palm
this game.
Squad's supposed to be there
Cool.
tonight. Yeah.
This is a big deal at the high school. I mean, we were just
Yeah.
there Friday for the cake auction, and I stepped into the gym several times, and even I was like, "Oh wow, this is big." I've been in the gym before. It'd
Yeah.
been a while,
Yeah.
and I thought like, this is a great place to hold this game because
Yeah.
it has outgrown the Y.
It really has.
We all know that.
And all your Facebook listeners and the live and everything, I challenge the entire town of Muscatine. Come out and pack the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Support this, not only the teams, but there are tons of area special needs people that are not involved in athletics that come to this, a chance just to say hi. You take 2 hours out of your night on a Tuesday night, like you said, big deal. It's nothing to you, but it means the world to these special needs people.
That's an excellent point. There are so many special needs folks that, whether they're involved in a different sport or not, they do show up to this game. I've seen them over the years, and it's just a wonderful evening, and I only hope that it continues. I would love to see this game on a weekend day. I feel like, I don't know what the plan is, like if it keeps growing and building, maybe we got to have it at Carver Hawkeye Arena in a couple of years.
That would be awesome.
It would be great. Will Dick Vetter make an appearance tonight at the game? Have you heard from his people?
He will be there.
Okay. Probably not play, but there as
we've transitioned him that role,
like your assistant coach.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yes.
Back in the day, man, he was a
baller. He's a legend. Dick Vetter. How many years with Special Olympics?
Since 1970.
Wow.
So,
unbelievable. I love seeing him.
Talking almost 50 years.
Oh my gosh, so great. All right, so here's the thing. If you're watching 6 o'clock, the game will start 6 o'clock ish.
6:05.
6:05.
We hope to be out of there by 8.
I was going to say. Don't let the weather stop you. We really dodged a storm yesterday by all accounts.
We did. Yeah.
I think I like social media, but the one thing that I don't like is this panic that it can cause people when the weather, and like I said, it basically just sort of like, it was a Slurpee. So you just slide it out of the way. The plow trucks are out and about. Things are going to be salted. I know that the school district does a great job. You can pull right up at MHS, park, and walk in. And don't get there late because you're going to miss out on the bake sale, right? I mean, it sells out every year. Because every year I'm like, I'm going to get a Rice Krispie treat. And then at the end of the game, I'm like, they're sold out.
Yeah.
Don't be a Tony.
Baked goods go fast.
Right.
Or at least the good stuff goes fast.
Well, all the stuff.
Well,
and then
stuff
as far as some of the folks that are going to be volunteering tonight, you have great support. Yeah. Sometimes that's family members of yours, but I mean, talk about that. It's really a group effort to make this game happen. Right?
Kathy McConaughey, Vicky Slater, Grandma Slater, Vicky Flores, Patsy Lowe's, they come out and they really, Renee Johnson, Carissa Johnson, they set up our raffle prizes. They set up our baked goods. They help with our T-shirts, and so they do a tremendous job in raising money for us.
They really care, which is so nice, right?
They do, and they get so excited about it.
My
it's
gosh,
unbelievable.
It really is. Yeah. It's such a great event to be a part of, and I hope to just continue to referee it. I mean, my role is so small, but I take so much pride in calling a good game. And making sure that the fire department and the police know what's up. They know what's up.
Yeah.
They know.
They don't mess with Tony.
Gata don't play. They know not to mess with me, right? They know I mean business on the court. We're all friends after the game.
Have you teed anybody up?
I've wanted to call technicals. The retired Chief Cannon was a favorite target of mine.
Okay.
But he retired, so I don't know if he'll be there tonight. But will I call a technical tonight? I don't think I want to do that.
No pressure.
I don't think that would look good. I don't know.
We've hosted a Holiday Classic basketball tournament, and we had one of our volunteers. I won't mention any names.
Sure.
Last name's Miller.
Okay.
First name James.
Perfect.
But he teed an athlete up.
Oh,
one of our,
no. Teed up an athlete?
One of our athletes got a little excited.
Oh, no. He teed him up, though? Yeah. I promise I will not tee up anybody on Muscatine team.
He actually came over and he's like, hey, can I tee up an athlete? And I'm like, yeah, man, whatever.
Gosh, I would never tee anybody. I would
bad.
Tee up a firefighter and a cop in a second. Zach Lane of the sheriff's office just walked by getting donuts. That might be a stereotype. I would I'll tee up whoever. Not teeing up an athlete, though. That's not happening. And not on my watch. Jim Simmons, he's a loose cannon. I don't know. He might tee somebody up tonight. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm also just excited to be 100 pounds lighter because I won't be as winded as I have been over the last couple of years. I get real sweaty at these games, and then at the end of it, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm excited to be in better shape and to support these athletes.
So I'm clear. You're going to call a technical on people that can put your house out if it's on fire.
You bet.
Okay.
They need to know what's up.
That's fine. Just as long as I understand
Listen, Mark,
the level you're going to.
As an honorary firefighter and police officer and sheriff's deputy, they know what's up. John Q. Public here to keep them in line. They did put out a fire yesterday, though.
That's
and then
impressive.
Some of the guys and gals volunteering tonight. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, Muscatine High School, Special Olympics versus Muscatine Fire and Police. We want you to come out and support our athletes. They are worthy of your time. We've been talking about this for 2 weeks, every single show. I've made it a point to not stop talking about this event. It's something that I look forward to each and every year. And I can't say enough how much I love our athletes, and I know that they're going to do a great job tonight. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All we need
Thanks for all you do.
And I know that Dr.
We need some good
Reby,
weather.
if you're watching Dr. Reby, don't you cancel school. Don't do it. 2 hour late start's fine. Roads are fine. Don't cancel it. Mike Morgan, you better have on the checkered purple pants tonight. You see what this guy wears?
Yeah.
He loves his job.
He's a fanatic.
Last
man.
Friday,
He's awesome.
Mike Morgan, best dressed person in Muscatine, bar none.
Yep.
Checkered, musky colored
He
pants
was
on.
my athletic director at L&M when I went to school.
Wow.
So there's our tie.
He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to Mike Morgan for allowing the game to happen at Muscatine High
Yeah,
School.
yeah.
Yes, thank you very
Right.
much.
I mean, I think
And
that,
to reschedule and be able to, if we have to reschedule,
Sure.
be able to go next Thursday. And they opened up their facility, and
It's
I remember
super
one of the
exciting.
emails he said, anything we can do for Special Olympics. So that always makes me feel good.
it's really something, this community of ours, that we're able to have the support for Special Olympics, all of our athletes, and then it goes a step further, and people at the high school understanding how
Yeah.
this can be such a good thing to be associated
Right.
with. Not all Special Olympic cities, the various locations in Iowa, are probably afforded the same
Sure.
luxuries or
Yeah.
courtesies, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So
yeah.
Muscatine, we're doing a good job, and we need you to come out. Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
I don't want to have to tee you up. You would also be on the potential
I'm
tee
on the
list.
potential list.
Right.
Well, now that's a challenge.
You're fair game.
All right.
Don't Bobby Knight and throw a chair at me, okay?
No,
that
I won't
hasn't
throw a
happened.
chair.
All right, good.
Nope.
I will. I don't want to tee anybody
A
up.
Bobby Knight
But
tirade
they've
I
got
won't put out.
these new fancy whistles that you just press it and it makes the whistle sound, and I like clicky pens and whistles like that, so I'm going to get some good
might be
use out
whistle
of it.
happy.
It might be a little whistle happy. I'll try not to drop it as well. If for whatever reason you cannot make it to Muscatine High School, live stream the game. Are you guys going to put it on the Hy-Vee page tonight? Do you know where you're going to be streaming it out of? Stick it on the yeah.
We can put it on Hy-Vee page and Special Olympics.
Perfect. So we'll be able to carry the stream on the Special Olympics Muscatine Facebook page or the Hy-Vee page, as many pages as we can. I'm down with that because our athletes deserve it. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Yep.
Let's
Thanks
go
for having us out.
CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam if we could. I don't even know where it's at. Hey, it's looking at some flowers. I know exactly where that is. Jeff the goat making another appearance. This goat is just haunting my dreams, everybody. That is set up near Wine and Spirits. And I can't get, the goat is just looking right at the camera. Look at how creepy that looks. So Wine and Spirits, if you need a bottle of wine, if you need a craft beer, and then some flowers, there are so many great options. We have got you covered for Valentine's Day 2019. I mean, we are packed to the gills with stuff all over the store. I'm scooting my chair over because we're expecting 3 guests. I see one of our guests making his way over. Very excited because it's been a while since we've talked to this next guest. And please come and see us. As I mentioned, I was proactive last night before we had bingo. I took care of some some flower ordering at Hy-Vee Floral, and those ladies are doing a fantastic job. I assume I'll be making some deliveries on Valentine's Day, and it'll be good. Hello, friends. We'll let you get situated. We've got another chair around the corner here. Betsy, I got one over there already. You just want to pull it over? We've got a full house. This is what I like about this show. I love when we have multiple guests. And we'll get these guys and gals mic'd up here. So in the meanwhile, check it out. Valentine's Day at Hy-Vee, ready to go. Buy the goat, too. Don't forget, the goat is on sale. Normally $150 for you if you need a goat that has a tattoo. Can we address the fact that the goat has a tattoo? You're welcome to pick that up if you like for Valentine's Day. Oh, boy. Flowers look good, though. The whole store just smells so fresh, right? And again, even if you are, if you're married to someone or dating someone that says, I don't want anything for Valentine's Day. They don't mean it. They need something. All right, so we're going to get a mic on Janet, right? They'll share one. Perfect. Okay, good deal. All right, so let's get to our guests that are here. Dan Stein is to my right. Jody Hansen and Janet Clark are in the house talking Muscatine China Initiative. It's so great to see you guys. Thank you.
See you, Tony.
How are you, buddy?
Good. How about you,
Hey,
Jody?
Tony.
Janet, hi. Welcome. I like this. We're kind of matching. Janet, look at that. Very Valentine's Day thing. Yes, mine says trying to not pit out. So that's what it says right here. These lights are a little warm. This is really exciting to have, first of all, to have you all here. I appreciate it. With a little bit of bad weather, you all made it safely, of course,
right.
Which is great. Big performance Valentine's Day. So if folks at home, if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out what to do on Valentine's Day, maybe you're thinking you want to go out to dinner, but every restaurant's going to be packed. Go to dinner on Friday, because there is a once-in-a-lifetime, well, for Muscatine, this has happened more than once,
Right.
But by all accounts, we're not sure if
The first of this one.
the first of this kind of a performance. So it's a Happy Chinese New Year concert in Muscatine. Guys, this is a big deal. I love the little poster that you've brought. So this is I don't want to get it wrong, it's the China National Peking Opera Company and is it Hy-Vee? Hy-Vee Chime Bells National Chinese Orchestra coming to Muscatine, doing a free show. How do we make this happen again? This is unbelievable.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, you go ahead.
All right, so this will be the 4th year actually that we've done this.
Year.
I think everybody in Muscatine's heard the story about
Right.
President Xi coming here in '85, and then again in 2012. And so really, this is a group that comes to the U.S. around the Chinese New Year holiday and performs typically in Chicago and Detroit.
Right.
Those are paid performances where generally $20 to $25 a ticket.
Jeez Louise.
And then kind of because of this special relationship we formed, they always come to Muscatine and we do a free show. So this year it falls on February 14th, Valentine's Day, which, that's not ideal. However, I think since the show starts at 7 p.m., there's plenty of time to go to a local restaurant with your date and have a good dinner and then come down for a free show.
So this relationship is really a big deal. And when you look at something like that picture in particular, so that is the Hy-Vee
Yep.
Yes.
Chime Bells National Chinese Orchestra. And some of those bells and chimes are ancient.
Yeah.
Like they found a lot of them, correct?
So the story is about 2,400 years old is this bell chime instrument, and it was only discovered about 40 years ago.
Wow.
So the gentleman, he's kind of a legend in China now because he's an archaeologist. He was out digging around looking for some stuff, and he found the bell chimes. So he actually will be in Muscatine, the guy that found it.
Oh, that's
He's
incredible.
coming along on the trip.
Wow.
And so people will have a chance to interact with him. Not only at the show, but the next day we'll have this Chinese Cultural Day on the 15th, and people can get up close and see the chimes up close and ask them questions.
So much culture in Muscatine, Iowa, right? I mean, there's really no place else, and no offense to the surrounding areas, but I mean, as far as an experience like this, that is at no cost, if you think about it.
Right.
They're typically performing in Chicago and Detroit, big cities. Then they come to Muscatine, Iowa,
Right.
and they do a
they're
free
going to
show.
California.
And then they're
Yeah.
going to California.
Muscatine's right on that route.
Yeah, well, just right down I-80, I think. Jody, for you, working with the Convention and Visitors Bureau and doing things to bring people to town, this is definitely something that is for people in Muscatine County and the surrounding areas, but I imagine that folks would come from out of town to have this experience, and that's a
Yes.
great thing for Muscatine.
Absolutely. We are promoting it to other areas, especially like those 4-hour drives. When I was at the Travel Iowa, the Iowa conference this weekend, or last week,
Sure.
I'm losing track of the time. But just telling people the story, people in the community, they know the Mississippi River, they know other things about
Right.
Muscatine, but a lot of folks don't know that story. And when you tell it, it's a fun story to tell. And also, like the performance, having them know that this caliber of performance is happening in Muscatine. And I think people, also might not realize, these people are big time performers.
Right.
That we have the ability to interact with and to welcome to our community in hopes that maybe they come back with their families.
Yeah.
So
The only thing we wish we could have is warmer weather, but we can't control that, unfortunately.
Right.
But the thing that we can control is the experience that we afford
Definitely.
them. And again, when the president of China, what population?
1.4 billion.
Okay, 1.4 billion people, and the president of China knows Muscatine, Iowa very well, spent time here.
Yeah.
It is a wild story when you think about it.
It really is.
And that's where organizations and groups like the Muscatine China Initiatives Committee, it just makes sense to put on shows like this because we want to encourage folks from China to visit,
Right.
whether they come to Chicago by way of Chicago to Muscatine. Muscatine is a destination for them
It
because
is.
they want to experience what their president
Yep.
experienced.
And
right?
really, it's, coming to a big city like Chicago or Detroit, it's not that different than being
Sure.
in Beijing or Shanghai. And so we get feedback that they really like coming out to Iowa, to Muscatine, to see kind of middle America,
Yep.
see a normal middle-sized town. And I think they sense really the...
like a slice of
And
Americana.
staying with
Yeah.
people that live here.
Yeah. So Janet, how many of the performers will be doing that? Will
Only
be
20 this time. But
Okay.
the last 3 times it's been like 40 or 45 people have
Wow.
stayed at homes in Muscatine.
That is wonderful.
Usually at least two in a home. So
Yeah.
people have welcomed them and opened up their homes to them, and they don't know how to speak Chinese, and some of them don't know how to speak English. So there's this wonderful Google Translate.
Yeah.
Or there's lots of sign language.
Yeah.
E.
But they can get they can feel welcomed, right? That's
Yeah.
a universal
Right.
language is
Yeah.
how we
Yeah.
treat others, even if there is a language barrier.
Yeah.
They want to have a good experience while they're here. And these pictures that we're looking at
Right.
are just unbelievable.
We wanted to keep the homestay aspect, even though we've got the Merrill now. It's so easy to organize events and have meals down there, and so about 60 out of 80 will stay at the Merrill, and then the other 20 will be with homestays to get that genuine
Sure.
American experience.
It's just such a cool performance piece to bring to town, and again, world-class musicians. I mean, that's the thing that I don't want to. I can't overstate
this one
that
too,
enough.
It's not just like people would think of violins or something.
Correct.
And it's like lots of pageantry and masks and
Acrobatics.
acrobatics.
For
Swords.
the opera.
Swords.
Whoa.
That's going to be the one thing.
That'll
Dan
bring out the
coming
young
through with
guys.
The
Yeah.
swords.
They'll probably invite you up to help with
So-
that.
They
right?
will, Janet. I am a swordsman. I don't want to brag, but I fence in my free time. You know that. That is so cool, though. And again, Ryan, we've got some pictures that Janet sent us, and to be able to sit here and talk about this, Dan, you said the 4th time that this has happened
the
in
4th
Muscatine,
time.
Iowa,
Right.
for free.
Right. And this year I want to add, so the
Wild.
performance is on Valentine's Day, the 14th, 7 p.m., Central Middle School. The next day, the fun doesn't stop. We're going to have some cultural day activities in Muscatine where these groups will go out to Muscatine High School, and some of the Chinese language students will get to interact with them. Some of the arts department students will get to interact. And then downtown, at the former Marie Lindsay building, which is now the Sino U.S. Friendship Center, we'll have them an open house.
Awesome.
So that'll be from 11 to 3 on Friday the 15th.
So great.
Anybody
public.
is good at ping pong. They're having a ping pong
We're going to have a
tournament.
ping pong tournament in there. We got 2
Come on
tables
down,
set up.
Tony.
So bad at ping pong.
Tea tasting, Chinese food. We're going to cater in Hy-Vee
Cool.
for some Chinese food.
That's awesome.
And should be a good day of activities. So stop by if you have time. It's kind of a come as you are, and enjoy the culture.
I love that the performers will be spending time with our students, because another part of this is the fact that Muscatine students have been able to go to China
Right.
and experience our sister cities and just have that. I mean, I've never been. I can't even imagine. I've seen pictures.
My daughter got to go, and she didn't want to come back home.
That's the report that everybody has. And when people hear that there's like a Muscatine museum,
Yep.
that's real.
2 of
That's
them.
real.
There's
Two.
2 Muscatine museums. It's unbelievable
Yep.
if you think about that.
Right.
It's really great. And then again, to understand this impact that it could have on tourism to Muscatine is a big deal. Even if 1% of the population makes it to the Chicago area and then comes to Muscatine,
huge.
that would be annually a lot
Yeah.
of people coming into downtown Muscatine. And you absolutely get to experience that slice of Americana,
Right.
especially, Jody, when people are in downtown.
Yes,
Right?
and we have arranged 2 bus tours. So One person will take about 40 people on one bus,
Sure.
and I will take the other 40 on another bus. We each will have a translator, so we can show them different parts of town. We are going outside of downtown as well, so
Cool.
there are very interesting things that we will show them and that they have heard about, probably the Friendship House,
Yep.
and be able to experience that. So we're really excited about that. And I have to say, we would all be remiss if we did not mention that this would not ever happen without the Muscatine China Initiatives Committee members. We have so many amazing members, and Dan holds it together, and Janet arranges the homestays, and then we have Carolyn Arola, who does this, and the other folks from the symphony. I mean, Dan, you've sent her all sorts of specs.
I like it that the Muscatine China Initiatives Committee is we're from all walks of life.
Sure.
Good mix of people.
Yeah.
And the financial impact on Muscatine, I mean, it's only 3 days, but you got to remember all this money is coming from outside our community, being spent at our restaurants. We're catering in food, the hotel. They're going to come out to Hy-Vee. They love to come to the grocery store and see
Sure.
the American-style grocery store. It's always fun. So really, it's a great thing for our community. Despite all the high-level political issues and the trade war, there's mixed feelings about that.
Sure.
But this is really about culture, art, and people-to-people diplomacy.
Well, and
So-
really just getting to experience a performance like this. I mean, again, for Muscatine to be able to have this show. Ryan, can you pull up that email with the pictures that I forwarded you from Janet? I just want to give people some additional looks at what they're going to expect on Thursday, 7 o'clock, the China National Peking Opera Company and the Hubei.
Yep, you got it.
Gosh, Hubei Chime Bells National Chinese Orchestra. It is just going to be a wonderful evening.
Yes.
And as much as, again, Valentine's Day, I'm telling you, every restaurant's going to be packed. So if you don't have a reservation, you're not going anywhere. Sorry. So why not experience a performance like that? And if it would be your first time going, I can't even put into words. I think I was there, I don't know, it was 2 years ago, and I wasn't there the whole time, but it was just like, there's not a lot of moments in my life where I haven't had words to describe what I'm experiencing, and it was just very humbled, and I was very still and quiet, which doesn't happen that often for me. So that's the feeling that I got. Like, you're just sort of in the presence of world-class musicians, and you're experiencing something, and you, for a moment, forget that you're in small-town USA, Muscatine, Iowa, with these world-class trained musicians, and they're so excited to be there. That's the other part of this.
Yeah.
This isn't like, I mean, they want to put on a good show.
Right.
And there's two shows. So these are two separate shows.
That's
like
what I was
a
going to
little
say, right?
intermission.
Yeah. So even if you can, I mean, we want you to make it the whole time, of course, but however long you can be there, it'll be well worth it.
It's a great
right?
experience that
Oh
we
my
have
gosh.
these two amazing performances. I mean, to experience an opera,
Yeah.
number one. And I've seen some of the videos, and it's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it is.
I
I've been
mean,
watching
the
some.
acrobatics and the swords, like you say. Are the swords in the opera? I didn't see them.
I
They
think
better
are.
be.
I think they are, yeah.
I want to sing with a sword. What am I doing here if I'm not going to be singing with a sword in my hand? I mean, I'm willing to help out
One
if
thing
they
that-
need me.
I've learned from this. I have had people come into our house the last 3 years and stay, and they're just people like we are.
Yep.
Even if we can't speak the language, we have a language barrier, but we can get along through Google Translate.
Yep.
But they have kids, they have families, wives, husbands. They want Wi-Fi to call home.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
They show you pictures of their families. They're just normal people like us. Just
Yeah, very prideful and excited to be in a place again because they have such admiration for their president and the fact that he had such a great experience. I mean, it's such a rare thing to be sitting here and talking about it, a global power player to know about Muscatine. I mean, it doesn't happen elsewhere,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
I mean, it's just, the Prime Minister of Britain doesn't know about Iowa City. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just so rare to have any type of recognition, let alone a history, and then Muscatine sort of understanding that we can be a good friend, and that's where we've done a lot of right, and I think Glad and Daniel have done so much for that relationship to kind of nurture or shepherd it, however you want to describe it, and this is just kind of the fruits of the labor, right? Being able to put on a great show like
if you see any of
this.
these Chinese people walking around
Yes.
in the store,
Yeah.
downtown, wherever you see them, here's your language lesson for today.
Okay, I'm ready.
Welcome means just say ni hao. And
Ni hao.
Just remember your ni and like how.
Ni hao, yeah.
Ni
So
hao.
George and Jay, two of our fantastic Chinese cooks, have tried to teach me a little bit, and they say ni hao all the time. George, I would love to if they come to the store and George is working 100%. I mean, they would. George would be able to have a great conversation with him. A couple years ago, I remember I had my kids at the Riverfront Park, and Janet was there, and I think Glad was there, and there were just a group checking out the riverfront. Right. And it was just like, this is so great, right? I mean, just a moment like that. Right. That's why we want them to have a good time, even though it's the winter, because we want them to experience the warm weather and the riverfront and how great downtown. We're so proud of how downtown looks now. The Merrill's a part of that, and Mississippi Drive looks so much better. So yes, we definitely want to represent Muscatine well. And how do we do that? We pack the seats at Central Middle School. It's a free show.
Yeah.
Usually there's not a lot of free stuff that happens on Valentine's Day, right?
Don't wait till 5 minutes before and try to find parking and get in.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's usually pretty.
No, it's going to be great. All right. Well, it's a lot of work. And in addition to being on the initiatives, the Muscatine China Initiatives Committee, y'all have jobs and families and lives. So I appreciate the work that you do to pull off an event like this and to be gracious hosts and to be good I mean, everybody connected is great. We're all ambassadors for where we live.
Absolutely.
But you guys have, definitely have boots on the ground to make a good impact, and to just be well thought of. And it's on the screen, right? Free admission to a normally, a show that is in Detroit or Chicago that's a $25 ticket. Right. It just makes sense. Yeah. I'm not good at math, but I can count fast and tell you that free admission is always good.
Yeah.
That's right. Dan, we should probably have you back on to talk about Count Fast.
Yeah. Daniel Wong, my partner on that project, will be back Saturday.
Okay.
And then we've got a lot of schools.
I was going to say,
and so we're ready to talk more about it.
Big changes with Count Fast, and all very good stuff. Yep. And are you going to have the math competition again?
We're going to do another math competition,
awesome.
and all the 1st through 5th graders have been doing the program last fall.
It is amazing to watch those kids.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm trying to figure it out. The card is hardly down, and those kids are like, they just know the answers
Hey, Janet,
right now.
I emceed it last year, and I was the dumbest person in the room.
Oh, come on.
No. The 5th graders especially, wicked smart.
There's Count Fast
yes,
there.
They are.
Dan was trying to show me how to do it, and I was like, I can stand up here and crack wise and be a good MC, I think, but I can't do math. It makes me nervous. But that's great. I'm really excited to
we appreciate Hy-Vee and you for putting the show on and
please.
getting the word out on all the community events. You do a great job.
Least I can do, right? I love where I live and work, and I want people to understand how valuable a relationship like that can be. I think sometimes you see things in the news and that can sort of, impact your perspective on things. But the bottom line is this is a big deal. It's worthy of you knowing about, showing up, sharing it with your friends, and just understanding, again, that relationship and what that can mean for Muscatine, spending money downtown. I mean, Dan said it all, right? It's such a great boost to have that. I can't say enough about it. So get to Central this Thursday, ready to go, 7 o'clock. I'm going to try and say it again without stumbling, the China National Peking Opera Company and the Hubei Chime Bells National Chinese Orchestra.
Nailed it.
Free performance, 7 o'clock. Thank you guys. I did it pretty good. Dan Stein, Jody Hansen, Janet Clark. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, how many seats do we save you?
Well, you better save me several.
Okay.
My wife actually works, but my mom's in Muscatine, and this is something she would love
Bring
to
your
see.
kids.
So I should bring the kids,
Well,
right?
heavens, yes, they'll never get a chance.
You know what my boys need are swords. I keep telling my wife, 6 and 4, it's time to get swords, and the baby can referee it. All right, so be there. Check out more info if you need it. Visit Muscatine's Facebook page. Visit Muscatine's website, and we'll see you on Thursday. Let's go to the aisle cam if we could real quick. Car cam, yeah, let's go car cam. Cody, we're talking about Valentine's Day, so let's go, if we could, let's go down that seasonal aisle 11, towards the CBI Bank and Trust location. There's a big display of Valentine's Day stuff. We're in the mix, right? Valentine's Day is coming up quick. We have got literally everything you need to be ready for Valentine's Day. Betsy, would you like flowers for Valentine's Day? Would you prefer candy? Where do you find yourself in that conversation? Thank you. Flowers, right. Janet likes candy. So here we go. There you go. Hey, listen, there's no regretting any candy on Valentine's Day. You can't even think about being on a diet on Valentine's Day. Here's the funny part about the seasonal aisle. Guess what all that stuff is? Are you ready? Most of it is Easter. So there's still Valentine's Day stuff and then Easter. Because as soon as Valentine's Day is over, guess what's showing up? Easter. I can't believe it. Only a year working in retail, and it's just unbelievable to know that this is going on. Hold on one second. I got to text my friend that's trying to get me to call him. Doing my show, Luke. I can't call you. Sorry. So we've got you covered. Don't forget about gift cards, by the way. We've got a giant wall of gift cards, and Cody will kind of walk past that as he heads towards that big old display of Valentine's Day. There's some stuffed animals. It's just all over the store. Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Toyota Muscatine Car Cam. By the way, if you're really trying to impress your Valentine, what do you get him? You get him a brand new Toyota. How about that? You get a brand new Toyota. That's what you do. You go see Jimmy Greenhaw and TJ Deere, and you get yourself a Toyota. Put a little bow on it. A little bow on that Toyota. But if you maybe think about a box of Russell Stover's chocolate for $9.99, and then you're going to go get the love of your life, a new vehicle, it's a good deal. Tell you what, I've even heard that if you bought a Toyota, new or used, in the next 2 days, and you mention Hy-Vee today, they'll throw in a box of candy. They will. Jimmy Greenhaw just telepath that to me. It'll happen. So come and see us. We'll take care of you. Balloons, flowers, candy, chocolate. It's all there. I don't know if Cody can hear me, but he can't. That's okay. The meat department has their little pre-packed meals ready to go. And
Somebody removed Jeff the Goat and replaced it with this.
Look at that. Oh, I know who did that. Steve Graham did that. Steve Graham has taken away Jeff the Goat and replaced it with roses and wine, Be My Valentine. He's so clever with his rhyming and his mediocre handwriting. Hey, listen, bottle of red, bottle of white, and some candy and chocolates. You're all set for Valentine's Day 2019. All right, today is National Plum Pudding Day. That sounds gross. No offense. I've never had plum pudding. Maybe it's something that I would like. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's something that I would probably enjoy, but I would try it if y'all insisted. I'd much rather get into a box of chocolate, right? And all the different sizes available. My goodness. I'll show you the real big one in just a second. So that's all that was on the calendar, National Plum Pudding Day. And a note that I left for myself was, again, Hy-Vee Corporate willing to move the show to Hawaii if we put a store on the Big Island. So just keep that in mind. If we're thinking of taking Hy-Vee, I think it's the natural next step. Went to Minnesota, Wisconsin, great. Kansas City market, sure. Hawaii is next. And would love to do Aloha today with Tony Tone. First guest, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let's make it happen. And then Jason Momoa. Look at the size of this. Huge. That is huge. Steven, I got this for you. Just for you. It's all chocolate-covered strawberries. All right, Ryan. We'll take care of a couple pieces of business, and then we'll get out of here. Trying to think where I want to go. I want to mention again the Special Olympics basketball game. As of right now, and I've been watching my phone because it has not happened, so I'm assuming that Muscatine is just sticking with their 2-hour late start. It's 9:26 at this moment. School's going to start at 10. That means that our game is good to go, ladies and gentlemen. 6 o'clock tonight, Muscatine High School. Jason Miller and head coach Mark Heidelball were on the show this morning. We appreciate their time. Support our athletes. They are worthy of it. And come pack the gym. Please do that. Thanks to everybody that came out to play bingo last night. 35 to 40 people, and I had a great time. I mean, I always do, and it was a lot of fun. We'll do bingo again on March 11th, so you can save that date if you like. Okay, Rye Guy, let's do the dinner in the Market Grill Express, and then we'll talk about some packages available from the meat department, and we'll wrap up. That's going to be what we're going to talk about today. What is today? Tuesday? Did anybody think it was Wednesday for a second, or was that just me? A little bit of wishful thinking, perhaps. All right, dinner, 2 for $40. Market Grill Express, Valentine's Day. Listen, I'm not kidding you when I'm telling you that a lot of places are going to be packed to the walls. You could come to Hy-Vee, to the Market Grill Express, you and your love. Say you do dinner at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. We'll get you in and out in an hour so that you could go to Central Middle School for the show. 2 for $40, appetizer to share, pick your entree, a dessert, and 2 drinks. Where else can you go for that price? You can't. There's nobody else in Muscatine that has Valentine's Day dinner that cheaper. Why am I sweaty today, Ryan? What was in that cookie that you gave me? Niacin? I'm very sweaty. Oh, like a just a sweaty analogy or something. I don't know. What's under these lights? It's like a rotisserie chicken over here. What's going on? All that chest hair. It's just, whew. Anyways, yeah, I know. So I won't repeat that. Valentine's Day dinner for 2, $40 right here. And then you could go to this show. Wait for it. There it is. You could go to that show at 7. We'll get you in and out. Every place else is going to be packed. We'll take care of you. Maybe you want to do some cooking at home. Ryan, tomorrow, and I will show you these tomorrow because they are in the handy-dandy red Hy-Vee bags in a display around the set. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Meat department, 3 options for you. Ryan, I want to go in order again, $25, $35, $50 if you've got them. And these are easy to do. You pick them up, you take them home, a little bit of work, and you are all set. This is the Sweetheart Dinner. You can see right there it has 2 Hy-Vee Prime Reserve bacon-wrapped sirloin filet, 2 twice-baked potatoes, 2 bacon-wrapped asparagus, 1 DeLusso Classic Chef salad, 4 mini cupcakes, and a baguette, $25. I mean, again, it's an unbelievable deal that the one that you love will say, thank you for thinking of me and doing some cooking. Just don't forget to also get them something like this. The next option is $35. It's called Kiss the Cook, or Kiss the Broderson if you'll have it. 2 Hormel cooked prime rib, 2 twice-baked potatoes, 2 gourmet stuffed mushroom, 1 DeLusso class. You can read it. It's on the screen. $35, all available and ready to go. And last but not least, the $50 option is a good one. He creeping. Just don't do that. Don't creep out the one you love with the giant. Although, I mean, I feel like even if you are a creep, you give somebody this thing, they'll be like, well, you're kind of creepy, but I still like you. $50, couples cuisine, 2 Hy-Vee Choice Reserve beef tenderloin, 2 lobster tails, 2 twice-baked potatoes, bacon-wrapped asparagus, baguette, DeLusso salad, gourmet cupcakes, $50. Great deals, good options. Valentine's Day HQ. Right here. I don't need to say anything else. We've got you covered. Don't forget your flowers, and please, maybe give an extra thanks to people delivering flowers and stuff the next 2 days, which I'll probably be doing on Thursday. Last year, by the way, y'all remember that last year on Valentine's Day it was kind of warm. I don't remember what the temp was, but I remember delivering flowers and being in downtown Muscatine and avoiding puddles because snow was melting. So that's not going to be the case this year. A little bit chilly. So I just, again, ask for your patience and say thanks if people are delivering for you. I mean, it's their job, but, they're getting things done, and it's a lot of volume of flowers and different stuff, and we really try to do the best that we can. And that's the thing that I'll say about this place. Nobody cares as much as the people that work for Hy-Vee care. That is the truth. Ruth, you can take that to the bank. They care an awful lot. Can't say that about everywhere else, okay? And I know that because I work here. Okay, that being said, I want to say thanks to our guests again for taking the time to be with us on Hy-Vee today. That would be Jason Miller and Mark Heideball with Special Olympics Muscatine, 6 o'clock, high school tonight, Muscatine Special Olympics basketball in action. And a big thanks to Dan Stein, Jody Hansen, and Janet Clark with the Muscatine China Initiatives Committee. We're talking about this great performance, the China National Peking Opera Touring Company and the Hubei Chime Bells National Chinese Orchestra free show this Thursday, 7 o'clock, Central Middle School. What a wonderful experience. We appreciate all of their efforts. And it's always great to see the 3 of those folks. I like them an awful lot. Haven't seen Dan Stein in a while. So great to see Dan the man. I don't know if I can call him that. I didn't call him that while he was here on purpose. Sometimes people don't like my nicknames. Isn't that right, Brozone? I'm serious about opening a trampoline park near the movie theater, and if I have the right investors, I'm willing to let it be named the Tone Zone. Not the worst idea I've had. Trampoline park, right? That also serves Whitey's ice cream. Made it. Gosh, I'm so good with throwing paper in the garbage. The recycling can. It's a recycling can. Somebody tried to bust my chops the other day. We recycle all the paper here on the set of Hy-Vee today. we're very environmentally friendly and conscious. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust. Thanks to Toyota of Muscatine and to our friends at Team Staffing. We'll look at the job board on tomorrow's show and have more guests along the way. Tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have Dr. Wallner with Unity Point Health talking about heart health. And then we'll talk to our very own Captain John talking about some great seafood options for Valentine's Day. Only the best and most fresh seafood. That's what you'll find here at Hy-Vee. Thanks for watching. Catch replays weeknight 7:30 and 10:30 on Muscatine Power and Water Channel 5. Mike Weiss also on the show tomorrow. Tune in for that. He'll be on at Never 30, everybody. This is Tony Tone, and don't forget, Valentine's Day, 2 days away. 2 days. Call us. Let us help you. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.